Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. We are learning right view. So we have three type of right view. Number one, renunciation. Number two, non-aware. Number three, non-harming. So month 3, we are learning number 1, renunciation. So when we talk about renunciation, actually last week we talked about different, a lot of definition about renunciation. So actually, renunciation means there's no craving when you see something, when you hear something, when you taste something, when you smell something, or when you touch something. Very easy definition. Actually, these are called 5 causes of sensual pleasures. So if you don't have craving on those 5 sensual pleasures, that is a renunciation. So today I want to talk about one sutta. It's called the Bodhisattva Sutta. So in that sutta, Upasaka, a lady devotee called the Bodhisattva, is talking to Venerable Ananda. Bhante Ananda, we laymen enjoy sensual pleasures, delight in sensual pleasures, and take delight in sensual pleasures, and rejoice in such a sensual pleasure. Actually, they're every the same, you know. We want to make sure that we enjoy sensual pleasures. Renunciation seems like a precipice to us. Now I think last week I also talked about this one. Renunciation seems like a precipice to us. As a lay person, renunciation, when when they hear the word renunciation, it seems like a precipice. So they don't like it because they enjoy sensual pleasures. So if you enjoy sensual pleasures, you don't want to hear the word nikama or renunciation. It's not really easy. It's contradict. And he said that, I have heard that in this Dhamma and discipline, so that means in Bodhisasana, they are very young bhikkhus whose minds launch out upon renunciation and become placid and settled and liberated in it, seeing it as peaceful. So that means there are many young monks who in the Bodhisasana. So they seem to be very happy with the renunciation. And he said that renunciation, Bhante, is the dividing line or the difference between the multitude and the bhikkhus in this Dhamma and discipline. So I think if you read these lines, quite encouraging for you. Don't worry if you enjoy sensual pleasure, it doesn't matter. Because this is a dividing lines, between the multitudes and the bhikkhus, or nuns and monks. So for that reason, we have to know the difference, the different level of even good deed, different level of good deed. So if you look at these suttas, I think we are now learning renunciation, which is meant for just like a bhikkhus, and nuns. But of course, if you are willing, you can also follow this path. But the most important thing is whether the monks or lay devotees, we have to renounce sensual pleasures when you want to attain higher level. So this is what I write. Renunciation or letting go is the dividing line between the life for a lay person and the life for a spiritual person. But here I do not use the word bhikkhus or bhikkhunis, I just use a spiritual person. Even as a lay devotees, you can still follow the path of renunciation. You can become a spiritual person. At the same time, while you are living a lay life, while you are enjoying sensual pleasures, and the other time, you can walk on the spiritual path. Spiritual path. As a lay person, if you cannot renounce sensual pleasures, don't feel uncomfortable. That's very important, don't feel guilty, Don't feel guilty. When you are eating a good food, you enjoying it. When you are listening music or watching movie, you enjoying it. Don't feel uncomfortable. It's very important. Don't feel guilty about yourself for having enjoyment of sensual pleasures. Because I earlier said the dividing line. It's perfectly all right to enjoy sensual pleasures as a lay person. Yet, if you can renounce it a little bit, you should be proud of yourself. If you can renounce a lot, you are on the spiritual path. Sometimes you go to meditation retreat, you renounce many things, right? Sensual pleasures. So at that moment, you are on the spiritual path. If you are able to renounce all of them, so that means if you have a renunciation, you will become either a non-returner or arahant. Though you wear white clothes, you can become, if you don't have a craving for sensual pleasures or craving for you can become a non-returner or arahant. So here, my point here is, as a lay devotee, it is up to you. It's up to you. Sometimes you may enjoy sensual pleasures. Don't feel uncomfortable. It's all right, perfectly all right. But if you want to attain Nibbana for other time, then you can walk on the path. So that is what the Buddhist teaching all about. So we have to understand a different degree of kosandi, good deed. Question? I think very easy, no question. I think it's very good sutta to read, the Posa Sutta. Actually, I didn't send out to you because I just want to highlight the difference between lay life and monastic. Then in that sutta, so the Buddha said that he also, when he was a Buddha to be Bodhisattva, and he understand a good quality of renunciation, but his mind, sometimes his mind not fully convinced. So the reason is he doesn't know. He said that at that time he didn't know the danger of sensual pleasures, and also he didn't know the profit or benefit of renouncing sensual pleasures. So later, he renounced the palace and family, then he practiced the Noble Eightfold Path. Then he attained the first jhana. So the moment he attained the first jhana, he doesn't have any desire to enjoy sensual pleasures. So he said that the bliss of the first jhana is higher than the happiness of sensual pleasures. So while he was entering the first jhana, the thought of sensual desire came in. And he think that the thought of sensual desire at that moment, he feel like a danger. Because he already got the blissful happiness of the first jhana. So by comparing the bliss of and happiness of the first jhana and happiness of sensual desire, he know it. For that reason, the moment he entered the first jhana, if a desire for sensual pleasure came in, he think that desire as a danger, as a thorn. So just like that, then he attained second jhana. But the bliss of second jhana and the bliss of the first jhana are really different. So it go up to distraction or taints. So that the moment somebody became arahant, no, he will not have any craving even toward the jhana, the bliss of jhana. Because without craving to anything is much more blissful, much more peaceful. For that reason, actually, in that sutta, you can read, you can read a progressive, how to say that, attainment, progressive attainment. So, if we look at that sutta, we can understand that sensual happiness is lower than the happiness of the first jhana, the bliss of the first jhana, etc. etc. I think when we learn jhana, we'll come back to those sutta. Then we'll come back to those sutta. Okay, so as a lay person, if you enjoy sensual pleasures, it's okay, probably all right. But if you want to go on the path, it's not perfectly all right. It's not perfectly all right. So I want to highlight this point here, So we have, according to commentaries, we have two types of sensual pleasures. The commentary often mentions two types of sensual pleasures. Number one, the object sensual pleasure. Object. Number two, the defilement sensual pleasures. Kilesa karma. Many commentaries mention two types of sensual desires. Sensual pleasures. Number one, the object. Number two, the defilement. Number one, the object sensual pleasures are enticing forms, songs, odors, tastes, tangibles, such as gold and silver, wife and children, goats and sheep, and your car and houses, etc. You can add anything, you can add anything. So enticing and pleasant objects that you can enjoy with your eye, with your ear, nose, tongue, and the body. So these are called the object sensual pleasures. So as a lay person, you can enjoy it, perfectly all right. But if you are a monk, a nun, no, perfectly, how to say, contradict. We don't have to enjoy it. So the life for a monk or a nun is designed not to have all these sensual pleasures. Number two, the defilement sensual pleasures. So here, Defilement means the sensual desire or craving that crave for those objects. But here, kilesa karma, defilement sensual pleasure means sensual desire that crave for those objects. Two type. Number one, the object. Number two, the defilement or craving that you enjoy in those objects. Netesa, actually Mahanetesa is a post-canonical text. So this one is higher than commentaries. So actually is well respected. So in that Mahanetesa, in the first page, it is mentioned two type of object. And also many commentary follow that text. Okay, so but here we have two type of sensual pleasure, object and defilements. So here, the Buddha and his teaching written by Narada Mahatera, on the page 54, and he write this one. The third truth, so that means cessation of suffering. The third truth is purely a self-realization, a Dhamma to be comprehended by mental eye, that means wisdom. So this truth is to be realized by complete renunciation. Complete renunciation. Actually, this is a clear, but this one, it is not a case of renouncing external objects, but internal attachment to the external world. Very meaningful. Very meaningful. It is not a case of renouncing external objects. Also encouraging. You don't need to give up all your job, or you don't need to give away all your houses, or your property, but you have to give up your internal attachment to the external world. That's very important, I think. That's a good point. It's a good point. Even though you are eating vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food, Theravada always say that internal attachment. As long as you don't have internal attachment, it's okay. But of course, if we are eating a lot of tasteful food, a lot of good food, meat, fish, likely to attach. For that reason, external object also very important. So here this is not 100% correct. I want to show, actually this is very logical. It's not wrong, but we shouldn't blindly believe, in that writing 100%. So I want to show you the reason why. No, actually, it's not wrong, but the message he want to give back is that you don't need to give back your external objects, You don't need to give back your family, you don't need to give back your food, and in the Jainism, Jain monks, they do not wear anything. They think that the cloth is the object of attachment. For that reason, they give back everything. Like this. Buddhism is known as Majjhima Patipara, the middle path. It's very important. The middle path. We must understand the middle path. So, even though you give up all your external things, if you have a attachment or defilements in your mind, No point. No point. You're not walking on the path. You're not walking on the right path. So for that reason, the Buddha always pinpoint the importance of defilements in our mind. Lobha, dosa, moha, right? Lobha, dosa, moha. Here, actually, Narada Mahatera beautifully write, renunciation renunciation is not a case of renouncing external objects. It is internal attachment or lobha to the external world. Very beautiful, very beautiful. But it is important that misunderstanding may arise here. So what he writes is correct, but by just looking at this one, misunderstanding or misinterpretation may arise. So just like many, what they call it, modern monks, they are doing, They always say that mind is important. As long as I do not have attachment, I can touch the lady. I can hug, giving a hug, like this. I can shake hand like this. So actually, as a Puthojana, if we touch the lady, it will create, craving. It will create craving. It's very important. Of course, if we give it, hug, right? Because in the one of the monks in Theravada monks who is living in U.S., he is a pride, he wants to show loving kindness and compassion. Then he give a hug to the ladies. And also Dalai Lama, he also do that, the same thing. But we can't believe our mind, whether he's old or whether he does, we don't know. Sometimes craving or attachment may arise. Actually, I like Dalai Lama in many parts, but I don't like that part. That point, we have to differentiate, So he always, actually he treat the people with the warmness and compassion. If the young lady is very beautiful, we don't know, it may arise craving. So here, what I want to point out is, many modern monks nowadays, they want to interpret, teachings of the Buddha in the same way. But here, actually, I'm not accusing Narada Mahatera. Actually, the way he writes is very beautiful. But somebody will misinterpret, by just looking at. It doesn't matter. As long as I know about craving, I can touch the lady like this. So actually, it's not so. Both the object sensual pleasures and defilement sensual pleasures. Two types of sensual pleasures are important for monks and nuns. For those who are on the path, For that reason, in our shrine hall, the lady and man have to sit down separately. It's very important, In the shrine hall, we are walking on the spiritual path, Not at all, not at all. But of course, some people may not like it because they want to sit down together, so that they will have a spiritual connection. They may want to sit down together, Of course, it's a logical, but we are in the temple, in the monasteries, we are on the spiritual path, so we have to understand. For that reason, not to have a distractions, So we have to divide man's side and women's side. That's very important. But in our temple, women are giving a lot of favor. A lot of favor. Good things. But here, what I want to point out is, for those who are walking on the spiritual path, so we have to be very cautious, regarding with the two types of sensual pleasures, both object sensual pleasures and defilement sensual pleasures. That's very important. So for that reason, the meditation retreat, you cannot stay together, even the couple cannot stay in the one room because they are on the path, on the path. It's very important. But the other time at home is okay, Don't feel guilty, It's all right to enjoy sensual pleasures as a lay person, but as a monk, if a monk is enjoying sensual pleasures, something wrong. But of course, you have to know the level, the level of how he go far, how he or she go far. You have to look at. But here, even this one is beautifully written. Renunciation is not a case of renouncing external object, but internal attachment to the external world. So of course, the original suffering is craving or internal attachment to the external world. But it's not, it's very important not to misinterpret this one. For that reason, I will show one sutta from Majjhima Nikaya, sutta number 22, Alakatupama Sutta, simile or snake. Simile or snake. So actually, if you grab the snake, if you grab its coil and its body, the snake will bite you. But if you take the snake in its neck, cannot bite. It is important to handle the snake properly. If you cannot handle the snake, very dangerous. So just like that, when we are learning the Dhamma, we should have a good purpose. If you cannot handle the Dhamma, teachings of the Buddha, properly, very dangerous. So, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 22. Actually, my point here is not that one. Maybe if we have a proper time, maybe we can touch on that. So here, even the Dhamma is similar to the snake. Actually, just simile, Just simile. If you handle the snake properly, it's not dangerous. But even the Dhamma, teachings of the Buddha, so if you are teaching the Dhamma to win the debate, argument, so you are handling the Dhamma or teachings of Buddha in proper way. It's very, very dangerous, very dangerous. Okay. Alakatupama Sutta. So in that Sutta, a monk called Areta said this one. As I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One, those things called abstractions by the Blessed One are not able to abstract one who engage in them. But here, those things called abstractions, Antarayika Dhamma. So actually according to this context, if we look at the whole Sutta, so you will understand what he means. Those things called abstraction mean sexual relationship with the women. So according to him, a man can make a sexual relationship with the women. It doesn't matter. It will not hinder to attain jhana, attainment of jhana or magga and phala. So he understands in such a way. So actually, according to this Sutta, maybe we can call it he's a protesting or progressive monk. So even nowadays, in some Mahayana countries, the monks get married. They think that not a problem. It's quite natural to get married with the women. According to that, nothing wrong with this. So they misinterpret teachings of the Buddha, just like this monk. So he said that, the Buddha said, some of the things are dangerous for attaining a higher achievement, just like a jhana, magga, and phala. He know that there's nothing wrong with this. The men can have a sexual intercourse with the women. It doesn't matter. A data is all a view that there will be no harm if bhikkhus were to engage in sexual relations with the women. And he maintained a view that this should not be prohibited by the monastery rules, by the Buddha as a monastery rule. Actually, even at the time of the Buddha, some monks, they propose, sexual relationship with the women, not a problem, it will not hinder. Even nowadays, there are some monks, they break the Vinaya rule, especially regarding with the sexual intercourse, but they promote, nothing happened to them. So actually, it's very dangerous. So actually, those monks are very dangerous if they are very influential in the community of monks. So very important. Some of the country, in the Theravada countries, some of the monks, they will the same thing. Having sexual relationship with the women, not a pity, like this. Then the Buddha condemned him using a strong epithet for having that pernicious view. Strong epithet, the Buddha condemned. And the Buddha highlights the danger of sensual pleasures using 10 similes. In the Sutta, you can see 10 similes. The fruit of a tree. If the tree is very beautiful, and the tree bear a lot of fruits, people go and pluck, so the tree will be destroyed, at least, So the Buddha said that sensual pleasures are just like a fruit, the fruits on a tree. So for that reason, Singapore government is very smart. Not allowed, not allowed to have a fruits or flowers, So because it's dangerous for the trees, So there's no trees, no fruit, no flowers, People will not bother for that trees. So the tree is very beautiful, or very shady, but it bear a lot of fruits and beautiful flowers. The tree is very dangerous. So just like that, the Buddha gave the simile of the fruit of a tree. Fruits on a tree. So sensual pleasures are very dangerous. But as a lay person who are enjoying sensual pleasures will not see the danger, and also will not see the profit or benefit of renouncing sensual pleasures. But for those who achieve jhanas, they know it, They know it, the danger of sensual pleasures and the benefit of renouncing them. And also the Buddha gave a simile of a piece of meat, Sensual pleasures are just like a piece of meat. Then you put a piece of meat among the dogs. So one of the dog take it away. So the other dog follow him, and chasing away, and also trying to rob that piece of meat. So he was beaten, by the other dogs. So finally he lost a piece of meat, and the other dog rob that meat. So it's dangerous, dangerous. If you have a piece of meat, and many dogs will chase and follow, and they were trying to take it away. It's dangerous. Actually, you the whole 10 simile, you can go and read the Sutta, 2 Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 22, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 54. So if you look at 10 simile, don't feel depressed because you are a layperson. You are not a monk. So it's very important. For that reason, I told you the Sutta first. Otherwise, you will feel depressed. So as a Buddhist monk, it's very important. So in the same Sutta, the Buddha said that bhikkhus, that one can engage in sensual pleasures. Here, sensual pleasure means sexual intercourse. Without sensual desires, without perception of sensual desire, without the thought of sensual desire, that is impossible. Someone have a sexual intercourse. So if somebody say he do it without any sensual desire, impossible. The Buddha said. So actually here, we have to interpret some of the teachings, accordingly. Actually, what Narada Mahathera write is very beautiful, according with the first sermon. The original suffering is craving, right? But he beautifully write that here, renunciation, renouncing here me, not a case of external object. In the case of internal attachment to the external object. So actually, for that reason, I say it's not 100% correct. Here, regarding with the sexual intercourse, without having any craving, then you have a sexual intercourse. It's impossible. So here, the point here is both external object and internal attachment are important. For that reason, we shouldn't we shouldn't condemn Mahayanas who are eating vegetarian food, because it's very important. If there is no meat on the table, likely to have a less craving, less craving. So actually, both external object and internal attachment are important. For that reason, as a Buddhist monk, so we have to reduce the amount of external object. That's very important. Then only we have a less chance for the rising of craving. So, one Sutta in the first Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya, the first Sutta, regarding with the opposite gender, the Buddha said that bhikkhus, I do not see even one other form that so obsess the mind of a man as the form of a woman. The form of a woman obsess the mind of a man. So I say, opposite gender is very important. As a Buddhist monk, as a Buddhist nun, that's very important. We have to be very careful for that. For that reason, some of the monks who want to practice teachings of the Buddha, even they do not talk on the phone with the women. So, not to say shaking hand, even they were not talk on the phone. The monks who follow, 100% teachings of the Buddha, So because the form of women is enticing for men. Same thing as a woman, the form of a man is enticing for them. The form of a man obsesses the mind of a woman. So here I want to highlight that the object sensual desire, the object sensual pleasure is embodied. It's also embodied. For the monks, is the Mahapariṇibbāna Sutta, the Buddha gave the method how to deal with the women for the monks, because the Venerable Ananda is asking a lot of instructions, from the Buddha, how to deal with dead body of the Buddha, etc. Dead body of the Buddha. The Buddha, how should we treat your dead body when you die, your body? The Buddha say, none of your business. So there are many devotees, and they will take care of my body. You just practice the Dhamma. The Buddha say. This is another one. Venerable Ananda said that, Lord, how should we act toward women? Is the final advice by the Buddha regarding with the women. Do not see them, Ananda. Venerable Ananda is very, left. Everyone left Venerable Ananda. I think he treat people with the full of loving kindness and compassion. Everyone left him, Although he is very helpful to anyone who approach him. Even earlier Sutta, the Posa, the Buddha told Venerable Ananda, I will go on the forest to spend a day. He will spend there under a tree the whole day. But devotee Taposa came to Venerable Ananda as the question. And he think that this question is too deep. Let's go to the Buddha. The Buddha say, he will go there and stay alone. But anyway, he's very helpful to the devotee, and he bring him. Just like that, So, do not see them. But if we see them, how should we behave, Lord? Do not speak to them. Very strict, very strict. Do not speak to them. And Venerable Ananda said that, but if they speak to us, Lord, how should we behave? Stay talking to us, how should we behave? And the Buddha say, practice mindfulness. Sati is very important. So if we are dealing with the women, we have to be very mindful. Full of mindfulness, we have to associate with them. Otherwise, attachment will come in, attachment will come in. So this is a advice of the last advice of the Buddha regarding with the women. So here, the point here is, of course, the Buddha also deal with the women, and the Buddha also talk to the women. But actually, what the Buddha want to say to the monks, Buddhist monks, it's very important. So, if possible, do not see them. Even you have to see them, don't talk to them. Even you still have to talk, practice mindfulness. You deal with them with the mindfulness. That's very important. If we don't have a mindfulness, then sensual desire likely to come in. That's very important. For that reason, in some of the monks in a Buddhist country, just like in Thailand, even in Myanmar, so when the monks want to teach, they cover with the fan. They do not look at the audience, Especially that is still followed by Thai monks. So when they are preaching the Dhamma, they do not look at the audience. They cover with the fan. The reason is they follow the instruction of the Buddha in the Mahapariṇibbāna. In earlier time in Myanmar, how to say, the Dhamma speakers, they always cover their face with the fan. Now, no longer follow. Only a few, only a few still follow. No, actually, it is a teachings of the Buddha. What I want to highlight here is both the object sensual pleasures and defilement sensual pleasures are important. Important as a Buddhist monk, or even as a layman who is following on the path. For that reason, when you are meditating, you have to close your eye. So women and men have to sit down separately. In far out meditation center, so men and women are, have to sit down separately. So you will not see, when you go there, you will not see the women. But of course, only when you when you eat your lunch and breakfast. So some women are helping, for the food. Okay, so what I want to say is important. Another one, actually we have already studied this Sutta. To lead a pure celibate life, just abstaining from engaging in sexual intercourse is not enough yet. When you want to follow a pure celibate life, one must refrain from any form of sexual activities in the body, verbal and mental doors as well. Not only bodily door and verbal door, as well as mental doors as well, in your mind as well. So in Methuna Sutta, in Gora Nikaya, Sutta number chapter 7, Sutta number 50. So the Buddha talk about 7 type of sexual activities. Methuna means sexual intercourse. Methuna Sutta provide the example of the activities that are connected with the sexual intercourse. So some are connected, some are not. But it's considered as a Methuna. So they are called the bond of sexuality. Methuna Sanyoga, something that are connected with the sexuality. In Myanmar, we call it small sexuality. They are not sexual intercourse, but they are connected with the sexual intercourse. We call it 7 bonds of sexuality. But here actually I teach this Sutta. The reason I want you to know the importance of the object sensual pleasures for those who are walking on the path, spiritual path. There are the flaw of a celibate life. So in that Sutta, one of the Brahmin asked to the Buddha whether Gautama Buddha follow a pure celibate, follow a celibate life, lead a celibate life. And the Buddha said that if someone say a man who is following a pure celibate life, just pointed to me, he said. The Buddha said. So the Buddha refrained from all these 7 bonds of spirituality. So they are the flaws of celibate life, the flaw of a monastic life, whether the monks or a nuns. I mean, if you look at this Sutta, you can judge, wherever they follow, If you look at whether Mahayana or Theravada, you can look at based on this one. Of course, Methuna or sexual intercourse is the biggest crime. So if someone have a sexual intercourse with a lady, no longer a monk, whether Mahayana or Theravada. But if someone, a monk, is following all these 7, also considered as the flaw, the flaw of a monastic life. Number 1, one consents to being wrapped or massage and bathe or knead by the opposite sex. If it is a man, by women. No massage, no massage. And also no bathing, no bathing by the women. No physical contact, no physical contact. If one relicts this and desires it and finds it satisfaction in it, it's someone like massage by opposite sex. That is the flaw of monastic life. I think by looking at this sutta, you can judge the monks, whether they are following teachings of the Buddha or not. By the way, please, I think you all know that Pali Canon or Nikayas are considered as a early teachings of the Buddha. In other words, the purest form of teachings of the Buddha. Everyone know it. Everyone know it. So this is from Pali Canon. Number 2, one jokes and play with the opposite sex and amuse oneself with them. Getting stronger, No joking, no playing. If a man is a joking, and also he relicts, he desires it, if he finds it satisfaction from it, it's a flaw or a monastery life. No joking. No joking me, of course, pure joke is okay. If he find it, if he like to joke and play with the women, the flaw. Ajahn Brahm always joke. It's nothing to do with this, no? It doesn't mean, actually, nothing to do with this one. Normal joking, stay okay. But the Buddhas and Arahants, they were not joke, They were not crack any joke. So they are very, stable and tranquil. They were not, Then number 3, one gaze and stare straight into the eyes of the opposite sex. It's very important. Here, what I mean is with the craving, with the craving, we have to combine with the lust, lust. We have to combine with the external and internal, Sometimes we need to have an eye contact, But if we stare at a lady, it's a flaw or a monastic life. No gaze or stare straight into the eyes of the opposite sex. Number 4, one listen to their voice behind a wall. It threw a rampant as they laugh, talk, sing or weep. Even weeping, even crying. They listen a lot of relics and satisfaction. No, not allowed. It's the flaw of monastic life. Number 5, one recollects laughing, talking, and playing with the opposite sex in the past. Before somebody joined the Buddhist order as a Buddhist monk, recall, So he laughed and played with his friend's lady or women, and to recollect, even recollecting such a one, is the flaw of monastic life. Number 6, one looks at a householder's son, enjoying himself, furnished, and endowed with the 5 causes of sensual pleasures. Someone is full of sensual pleasures and look at a lot of envy, He envy them. Then that is the flaw of monastic life. Suppose a young boy, a young girl passes by and look at them. Wow. That is the flaw of monastic life, Especially when we go out we have to be very mindful. No such a thought at all, So such thinking is very dangerous, So the Buddha gave a simile for such a gazing, looking at Hausura or a couple. The Buddha say it is the parallel of whirlpool for a monk. Suppose a couple enjoying a lot of sensual pleasures, a car and houses. He want to be like them. That's very dangerous for a Buddhist monk. A monastic life, it's just like a whirlpool, whirlpool. So the monk can drawn into it, drawn into it. So the Buddha said it is the parallel whirlpool for a monk. Even don't have to look at with envy, I want to be like that. No, it is very dangerous for the monk. Then the last one lives a spiritual life aspiring for rebirth in a certain order of devas. This one is nothing to do with sexual intercourse, but the Buddha added into it. So if a monk or a nun live in the monastic order, next life I will reborn in heaven. Even such one, the Buddha said, by virtue of this behavior, observance, austerity, or spiritual life, I will be a deva, or one in retinue of the devas. If someone like it, desire it, find it satisfaction in those such one, Even such desire is the flaw of monastic life. Actually, the purpose of a monastic life is to renounce all sensual desires, sensual pleasures, and to part on the noble eightfold path, ultimately to attain Nibbana. So this should be how to say, the destination of a monastic life. If someone became a monk and hoping that he will be in the heaven, in the heaven. It is the flaw of monastic life. So as a lay person, perfectly all right, You can have all these one. As a monastic, no, not allowed, not allowed. One of my devotee, he told me that I will offer you whatever you need. Just send me a heaven. Just send me a heaven. He said that because he want sensual. He want to enjoy sensual pleasures. Okay, any question? Okay.
Bhante, you mentioned earlier about monks engaged in those sexual liaison with women. Now the thing is that the precepts are really there, right? If you have very strong precepts and you practice it, will you be deviated into that sort of extreme? Especially even for monks. As a lay person, right, if you do keep the precept, if such thing come to mind, probably you will try and refrain. As a monastic person, it should be ingrained in them. So the precept of sexual misconduct is already there. Right? As a fundamental of the making, then they should avoid it. Otherwise, what's the purpose of going into monastic life and then work on the Vinaya rules and you break the precept?
Actually, just gazing a woman or opposite sex is not a breaking the Vinaya rule.
Right.
But it is a breaking the sila, because we call it indriya, restraints. Right. So we have to be restrained to with our eye. We have to be very, very careful to see something, and also restrain with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, the body. These are called restraints, indriya. it's not a breaking Vinaya rules, but if we have a satisfaction or craving in our mind, but of course that is a how to say that according to teachings according to this Sutta is a not following teachings of the Buddha.
Right, but the monks who get sexual relationship with a woman, that you can call what? You're not married, you can call adultery or whatever you call it. So the precept, of sexual misconduct is really, have been violated wholesale.
Yeah, you're right.
So if a monk, as a lay person, we follow the precept. For a monk to follow the precept is even more ardent. Yet, if they were to engage in those activities, in my opinion, they don't even fit to be a monk.
Yeah, you're right. If somebody have a sexual intercourse, no monk, already finished,
Yes, but then how's that some of those monks in some countries,
yeah,
after having transgressed into all these, yet is still wearing the robes. So
you're right.
So where are the authorities or whatever, to have a guidance on them, to sanction them or whatever, you see? Otherwise, it becomes a mockery, to the Buddhist community.
You're right. But in Buddhist countries, we have the authority to look after all these ones. If someone report on to say that those incidents, so they will be disturbed. But most of the time, of course, they do secretly. So even they are how to say that how can I say, even people how to say notice, we cannot say for sure, whether they commit such a grave offense, Sexual intercourse is a very great one, but these 7 bones of sexuality, actually they are not how to say the sexual intercourse, but something that are connected with the sexual intercourse. So they are called the flaws of the monastic life, pure celibate life. Even as a lay person, so if you are keeping a precept, you all have to follow all these one, all these one. Okay, of course, not the last one, not the last one. Some people keep a precept because they want to be born in a heaven. It's okay. But here I want to go to one Sutta, which is very beautiful. Nikata Sutta, 4 types of retreat. Nikata means retreat or withdrawal from sensual pleasures. In other words, we can call it renunciation. A different term for renunciation. So in this Sutta, one more question. Okay.
It's okay, Bhante.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Bhante, since seems like the Sutta is only addressing the sensual pleasure from the opposite sex, but then society has changed so much that actually we can find a lot of cases where people are attracted to the same gender. So how is this viewed by the Sangha or by the Buddhism in this case?
Yeah, very good question. If a monk who is have a sexual intercourse with the same gender, like a gay, whether so we have as a woman 3 places, If I'm rude, so sorry, just to clarify the Vinaya rules. So as a woman, 3 places for having sexual intercourse, Any places is breaking a grave on the greatest offense. If a man is having sexual intercourse with the same gender, even with the gay, 2 places, 2 places. Then is a breaking the Vinaya rules. Breaking the Vinaya rules. Even not only human beings, but also animals. Animals, if you have a sexual intercourse with the animals, also breaking greatest one. No, not allowed. Even animals, let alone same gender. But even of course, there are different regarding with the touching. So as a Buddhist monks, we are not allowed to touch even the baby. Even the baby. Even the old lady, not allowed to touch. But as far as Vinaya room is concerned, it depends on our how to say attitude, not attitude, intention. If we like to touch, the lady is breaking Vinaya rules. But sometimes we may have to touch the lady, in some cases, if there's no craving in our mind, we touch because out of compassion. But it is not a breaking Vinaya rules, breaking Vinaya rules. Then even we are not allowed to touch even our mother, our mother. In this case, some monks, they touch, they even hack, even they hack their mother. For me, no, I don't like. Sometimes, of course, you can touch your mother's hand. Only, it is better not to touch, It is better not to touch even your mother, even your mother, let alone your sisters. So when I was young, my sisters, they went to, the massage. I told them, no, not allowed. So it's not allowed to do. Even sisters or niece, right? Niece, or if it is a lady, no, not allowed. But sometimes when a baby girl came to temple, and they seek for blessing, better not to touch, better not to touch. Even sometimes, if baby girl is very, critically ill, then you may touch with a pure mind, You may touch pure mind. And also an old lady, it's better not to touch, If you want to follow a pure celibate light. But of course, if you don't have, it depends on our mind, Depends on our mind. But here again, not only object sensual pleasures, but also, the defilement sensual pleasure. Both are important, Both are important. So we can, for that reason, some of the orthodox, we call it orthodox. Maybe I don't want to use it. Theravada monks, a pure Theravada monks, they were not touched, They were not touched. Better not to do it. But regarding with the same gender, a young boy, and we touch a young boy with the desire, with the desire. Sometimes you may want to touch or even hack, No, it's always the breaking Vinaya rules, But regarding with the girl and boy, but different Vinaya rules, Even a boy, if you hack or if you touch with the full of lust or craving, it's also breaking Vinaya rules. So actually, here my point is both external and internal are important. So we should follow as much as possible. Sometimes there are some occasions we can touch. We have to very make sure that we don't have any craving inside. Okay, question. Please use microphone.
I'm just being naughty. You mentioned that when you're young, if your sister wants to massage you, you will say no. Assuming that a monk suffers an injury or has undergone some surgery, will the monk allow a female nurse to touch him and dress up his wounds and change his clothes?
Very good question. If possible, if there is a male nurse or a male doctor, the best, the best. Sometimes, for that reason, my mentor, my masters, when he was ill, he always get a male nurse. He doesn't allow. But sometimes there is no male nurse, a male doctor, then no choice. So early this year, I went to hospital for medical checkup. Then I requested a male doctor, but they say no. No choice, no choice. But when she went to check my internal organs, I told her I want to get a boy. I want not because I don't believe you, but because it's just for the, my rules, linear rules, So, if possible, male doctor is the best. So here, of course, the craving, internal attachment is the most important. But if we have as far as the opposite sex is concerned, it's very dangerous, It may create attachment, attachment. Okay. Question? Okay, so this sutta, the word nikatami, Bhikkhu Bodhi translates a retreat. So actually nikatami, staying away from sensual pleasures. In other words, we can translate as a renunciation or retreat. So in that sutta, the Buddha talk about 4 types of retreat. Number 1, one who has gone on retreat by body, but not gone on retreat by mind. You are on meditation retreat, but you are thinking about eating something, you're thinking about your family, your wife, your husband, like this, So you are bodily you are on renunciation, but you are stay away from sensual pleasures, but your mind, mentally. Then number 2, one who has not gone on retreat by body, but has gone on retreat by mind. So even though you stay at home, there's no sensual pleasures in your mind. Even though a monk or a nun stay in the big city, there's no sensual desire, sensual pleasures, no sensual desires. Sichuan. Number 3, one who has not gone on retreat either by body or by mind, staying among the people and full of sensual desire, Then number 4, one who has gone on retreat both by body and by mind. You stay away from object sensual pleasures. And also you don't have internal attachment. So that is number 4 is the best. Number 4 is the best. So according to this sutta, the most important thing is the internal one, according to this sutta. Then the Buddha said that in how bhikkhus has a person gone on retreat by body but not by mind. Here, some person resort to remote lodgings in forest, jungle groups, but there he thinks, even though he's living in the forest, and he thinks sensual thought, Dhamma-vitakka. So sensual thought is the opposite of renunciation. Then thought of airway. So this is the opposite of non-airway. And thought of harming. Even though he lives in the forest, full of airway. I don't like that person. I don't like this. I don't like that. Like this. Lot of airway. And also, I want to harm, other people. Thought of harming. Thought of harming. It is in this way that a person has gone on retreat by body, but not by mind. So here, bodily is on renunciation or retreat, but a lot of wrong intention. 3 types of wrong intention. See, the opposite of the wrong intention are right intentions. 3 types of right intention. Renunciation. If someone is living the meditation retreat, there's no thought of sensual desire. Renunciation, the thought of renunciation, the thought of non-airway, and the thought of non-harming. Both bodily and mentally, he or she is on retreat. So in this Sutta, we can learn the importance of two sensual pleasures. Not only object sensual pleasures, but also defilement sensual pleasures. I think this one not, how to say, very easy. To higher mind. In Dhamma-vitakka Sutta, actually the swine remover that I already sent out last week. So in that Sutta, the Buddha is explaining prerequisites before one perform many kinds of higher knowledge, higher supernatural power, giving a simile of the swine remover. Simile of the swine remover. It's very beautiful. Cosmic, cosmic. To make ornaments, the swine remover or cosmic must remove, number 1, growth, number 2, middle size, number 3, subtle defilements of the goal. So actually even the goal, 3 types of defilements: growth, middle size, and subtle. Then, after removing all the 3 types of defilements of the goal, he must pour it into a melting pot and fancy it and melt it until the time that the goal is malleable, weedy, and luminous, pliant, and properly fit to make any kinds of ornaments, earring, necklace, etc. So after clearing 3 types of defilements of the goal, and he put it in the melting pot, and he fans it, he melt it until the goal is ready to make any kind of ornaments. So in the same way, if someone wants to attain the higher mind, such as jhana, and also divine eye, etc., supernatural power, and also to attain the destruction of taints. So he or she has to fulfill the prerequisites first. So by removing 3 levels of defilements. So 3 levels of defilement. So here actually the point here is I want to highlight 3 levels of defilements. Number 1, gross defilements. Olarika upakilesa. bodily misconduct, verbal misconduct, and mental misconduct. So these are gross defilements. Actually, when we learn Chonda Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 10, Sutta number 176, Chonda Sutta, we already learn 10 type of defilements. 10 type of misconduct. So we have 3 bodily misconduct: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. And 4 type of verbal misconduct: telling lie, divisive speech, and idle chatter, and harsh speech. These are 4 verbal misconduct. And we have 3 mental misconduct: covetousness, away, and wrong views. So when you study 10 type of misconducts, so these are called gross defilements. So without removing all these 10 misconducts, you cannot go up, you cannot attain higher mind. You cannot attain higher mind. Actually, I want to compare a little bit more. There's a gross defilements. Number 2, middling defilements, middle side defilements. So they are sensual thought, and the thought of away, and the thought of harming. So actually they are 3 kinds of wrong intention. 3 type of wrong intention. So they are the opposite of 3 type of right intention. 3 type of right intention. Number 1, renunciation. Number 2, non-away. Number 3, non-harming. So these are 3 type of wrong intention. So here, the middle side defilements mean the opposite of those wrong intention. Sensual thought, the thought of away, the thought of harming. If you want to attain jhana, magga and phala, other supernatural powers, you have to remove a middle side defilements as well. Then, number 3, subtle defilements, a very subtle one, subtle level. So actually the Buddha gave only a few, it can be more. The thought about his relatives. Dhamma-vitakka, Even if you are thinking, while you are meditating, if you are thinking about your wife, thinking about your husband, your children, these are thought about his relative. Very such a one, And thought about his country. You think about your country, what happened, right now. Thought about your country. Even you are thinking about good things for your country, it's considered as the defilements at that moment, at that moment. And thought about his reputation. Reputation is a very important one. So here, reputation here means you don't want people look down upon you. Suppose you are sitting meditation. You are in the meditation center, sitting down. Then you think about, if I sit down like this, how people will look at it. Even such one, So if I sleep while I'm meditating, people will laugh at me. Such one is called reputation, No, you don't want other people look down upon you. So actually, one of the devotee, disciple of Bhante Gunaratana. As you all know that Bhante Gunaratana is a very famous meditation master from Sri Lanka, residing in United States. So he conduct meditation retreat in Australia. So one of his disciples also joined that meditation retreat and have to sit down in front front row. And he went to Australia from Sri Lanka. It's very tiring flight, the first day. Then Venerable Bhante Gunaratana also came from United States. Very tiring. Then as a disciple of his master, he think that if I sleep, if I fall asleep, I deface my master. If I sleep, I'm meditating in front row. Then if because of tiredness, if I sleep, and people will look down upon my master, I shouldn't. Then he's very sleepy, very sleepy. Then he look at his master. Master is sitting at the, facing the audience, meditators. His master also, not nodding, right? Nodding his hand, That means because he's very tired, The senior monks, very old monk. He came down from United States, So people may think that, meditation master may think that if I not down, if I sleep, my student will look down upon me, Even such one, is called Saddha defilements, Saddha defilements. In the minds of disciple, he think that if he sleep, people will look down upon his master. But master himself is sleeping. Very sad point, it's very sad point. Sometimes, if we do something and we are afraid that people will look down upon me, that's defilements. Defilements. So these are 3 levels of defilements. If you want to attain higher level, you have to remove them first. Then, after that, after removing 3 levels of defilements, there remain the thought connected with the Dhamma. It's called Dhamma-vitakka. The thought connected with the Dhamma. So here, Bhikkhu Bodhi, so we'll look at Bhikkhu Bodhi note regarding with the Dhamma-vitakka. It's very important. MBME commentary of Anguttara Nikaya, Manoratha Purani, close this at the thought connected with 10 corruption or insight. Actually, by the way, I think regarding with the Saddha defilements, Saddha defilements, I want to share, that's important. Suppose, so I'm using my note, then I want to get impression from the students. Then I use a lot of reference, difficult one, just to want to get, impression from the students, defilements. Then I'm teaching for popularity, defilements, desire, desire, defilements, very subtle way, But here, Dhamma-vitakka, so this is the thought connected with the 10 corruptions or insight. So we have a 10 corruption or insight. So when we are meditating and we like our tranquility, we're very happy, So that is called piti, rapture in our mind. So you like it, that rapture, and you like that bliss, the bliss of jhana. Actually, nothing wrong with this, but when you are practicing insight meditation, vipassana meditations, or delight or rapture on your bliss of jhana is a danger. We call it corruption or 10 corruption or insight. 10 corruption or insight. So that is called Dhamma-vitakka. If you think about you are meditation blissed. So that is craving, another type of craving. This is called Dhamma-vitakka. It's very subtle point. Bhikkhu Bodhi said that, but it seemed this could just as well be reflection on the teachings, on the meditation subject. Suppose you are meditating with the breathing object. Then you just look at your breathing. Then you like to see it, You like to delighted to see how, breathing is walking. Sometimes the breathing object may see as a line of smoke, and you want to see them. You're very happy to see them. I can do that, just like, delight or rapture. So actually your meditation object is a breathing. So when you see that, you clearly see, a line of breathing, very clearly. Then you like it so much. Oh, I can do that. My meditation is walking, slight degree of craving came in. That's called Dhamma-vitakka. Dhamma-vitakka. On the meditation object. So, if you want to attain higher mind, you have to, even such one, you have to remove it, remove it. So this is the reading from the Sutta. Is it what the Buddha taught in the Sutta? In Dhamma-vitakka is in mind. If the Dhamma-vitakka is in mind, the concentration is not peaceful, not sublime, not gained by full tranquilization, not attained to unification. So that means if you have such a type of 10 type of insight, 10 corruption or insight, then your mind is not 100% tranquil. Of course, your tranquility, your concentration is very high, but not that, not stable yet. Not stable yet. You're shaking. Your mind is still shaking. Even though your mind is very concentrated at that moment, if you have Dhamma-vitakka, the thought about Dhamma, then your concentration is not peaceful. Stay shaking. But it's reigning and checked by thoughtfully suppressing the defilements. Here, thoughtfully suppressing the defilement. You are trying hard to suppress the defilements, not naturally, because your concentration is not strong yet. If you have a 10 type of insight corruptions, your concentration is not stable yet. Stay shaking. If there's defilement arise in your mind, you have to spread it with blindfolds, blindfolds. There comes a time when the mind becomes internally steady, composed, unified, and concentrated. So that means there's no any defilements, no corruption in your mind. The mind became very steady, composed. That concentration is peaceful, sublime, gained by full tranquilization, and attained to unification. It is not reigning and checked by thoughtfully suppressing the defilement. You are not suppressing defilement by force. You just know it, and your mind is just steady, concentrated on your meditation object. Then, there being a suitable basis, he is capable of realizing any state realizable by direct knowledge, abhenya, toward which he might incline his mind to perform. That means he might incline his mind, incline to achieve certain supernatural power. If he want to see his previous life, just incline it, he can see them. If he want to perform a supernatural power to create a lot of body, to create something, he can do that. And if he want to hear the sound from far away, he just incline it, he can hear it. So these are different type of supernatural power. So we will learn after we talk about jhana. So these are direct knowledge, different type of direct knowledge can be achieved only you attain jhana. Only you attain jhana. So here, if you want to attain higher mind, you have to remove a different level, 3 level of defilements. Then after that, you have to remove the thought connected with the Dhamma, even the thought connected with the Dhamma. And only after that, you can realize higher knowledge. You will achieve higher mind. Here, actually, my point here is question. Any question up to now? Okay, no question. Then let's continue. So we have 3 mental actions according to this Sutta. So 3 mental actions from 10 causes of action, Kamapata, are more rarer and more embodied than 3 types of thought from the Noble Eightfold Path. Sorry, the opposite of the Noble Eightfold Path. I think I shouldn't write from the Noble Eightfold Path, from the, 3 types of wrong thought, 3 types of wrong thought. But here, the first level is 10 types of misconduct, 10 types of misconduct. The first defilements and gross defilements. And second, the middle side defilements are 3 types of wrong intentions. 3 types of wrong intention. So here, so these are 3 types of misconduct. 3 types of mental misconduct. Number 1, covetousness. Number 2, away. Number 3, wrong view. Then we can look at number 1 and number 2. Because the wrong view is connected with right view. Right? Actually, wrong view in the Noble Eightfold Path. How to say the wrong view connected with the Noble Eightfold Path is the middle side one. The wrong view among the 10 causes of misconduct is a gross defilements. You got my point? So actually we have among 10 type of misconduct, we have a wrong view. So this is a gross level wrong view. Then in the Noble Eightfold Path, wrong view means not understanding Four Noble Truth. That's a wrong view. That is a middle side defilements. Okay? So I didn't write on this one because we already learned. So we'll study 1 and 2, covetousness and away. This is from mental misconducts. So what is covetousness? What is covetousness, Abhijam? I think we don't have a time. Maybe question, maybe 1 or 2 questions. If you want to know, Father. If no question, then I will conclude my talk. No, wait. Today we talk about Taposa Soda. So Taposa, actually I think Taposa is one of the laymen who met the Buddha when the Buddha stayed in the near the Bodhi tree, As soon as the Buddha attained enlightenment, two merchants from they came to the Buddha and they offer food to the Buddha. They are the first disciples of the Buddha. So actually, Myanmar people, Burmese, they think that Taposa and Balika, these two merchants are from Myanmar. And they get Buddha hair relics, at the time, and they go back to Yangon, and they make a pagoda. It's called Shwetakong Pagoda. They enshrine it. Actually, commentary didn't mention, but I think he is one of them. He may not be from Myanmar. Definitely not from Myanmar. So actually, what I want to say is this soda, I want to highlight that renunciation is a dividing line between a lay person, a spiritual person. But I use spiritual person, a monks or a nuns. So as a lay person, perfectly all right to enjoy sensual pleasures. But when you want to walk on the spiritual path, the moment you practice spiritual path, you have to stay away from sensual desire. That's very important. And we have two types of sensual pleasures: object sensual pleasures and defilement sensual pleasures. Both are important for monks and nuns. Whether you don't have a craving in your mind, it's better not to it's better to stay away from object sensual pleasures. So that's very important. Actually, today we highlight that. So some of the monks, some of the monastics, they don't care about sensual pleasures. It is totally wrong. So we have to very cautious, both external and internal. So actually, external objects are very important, just like the fruits or a tree, just like a piece of meat. So it will create internal attachment, attachment to them. So as a Buddhist monks or Buddhist nuns, it is important, it's important not to have such misinterpretation. And today I read an article written in Myanmar, written by a very famous writer, and he thinks that the Buddha didn't say drinking alcohol. By drinking alcohol, you will go to hell. The Buddha didn't say, like this. Wrong view. It's wrong view because we have a lot of sodas. The Buddha say that if you break 5 precepts, you might go to hell. You might go to hell. Might. It's very important. He said that. No, drinking alcohol will not go to. Will not create any karma to go to hell. He even said that the monks are threatening people, by talking such way. But he gives a lot of reasonable, a lot of logical reasons, If someone do not know the teachings of the Buddha, where believe in that. It's very important not to have, to have a very, a right view, or right understanding. So for that reason, today we talk about Methuna Soda, that talk about, a pure celibate life, A monk or a nun want to have a pure celibate life, have to follow all these one. Okay, so thank you, and Let's close the lesson. Yo varatam bhavaro manu chesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho paragato palavidiya samangi Tan sukatan saratnatamu pemi Ragavi ragamanincamasokan Dhamma masangata mapatikulan Marurami mampagunan suwipatan Dhammami mansaratnatamu pemi Yatachadena mahapalamahу Chatusu susisu Purisa-yugesu Atacha Bogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansaranatamu Pemi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night, everyone.